Have you been thinking that you might want to try out minimalism? It looks really cool. You hear the benefits are amazing, but you're really not sure where to start. Well, I feel you and I am here for you. Today I want to talk about 10 ways that you can easily get started with minimalism. Let's do it. Hello, I am Candace and I am all about minimalism. I'm actually on a minimalist journey myself. I'm only 3 months in, but in the 3 months that I've been doing this, I have decluttered over half of my overall possessions. I'm a family of 5. I've got 3 kids, a husband, and together we have eliminated about 50%, which I absolutely love. I'm super excited about that progress. Today though, I really wanted to share with you 10 ways that you can get started with minimalism. Whether you just want to test it out, see how you like it. I actually recommend not doing all 10 of these at once. Just do maybe 1 to 3 of these and see what you think. See how your life starts to improve. I am going to start with the tip that I recommend the absolute most over anything else, and I think it's really going to help you out. Even if you're not wanting to go completely minimalist with your possessions, it's actually something that you can do that requires literally no effort at all. Let's go ahead and start with that one. I think one of the key elements to minimalism that I don't think many people talk about is the mindset part of all of it. I know there's minimalism that talks a ton about the things that you reduce in your home, the actual physical items. I think changing your mindset is one of the very first and possibly the most important thing you can do to begin with minimalism. And when I say change your mindset, I just mean think about your top 3 guiding values. The top 3 things in your life that you're willing to sacrifice other things to get. So a good example would be you're tired at the end of a really long day. You've taken care of your kids, you're exhausted, and you're looking forward to some me time. But it turns out your husband, your friend, your kid really needs to talk to you. It's something that means a lot to them. And you go ahead and sacrifice the time that you would have put in to yourself for the quality time on your relationships. So quality relationships or quality family time or something like that would be a core or a guiding value. So think about what 3 things you value more than anything. You're willing to give up other things you really like, enjoy, and value to prioritize these. Maybe some of the things in your home, the clutter, the accumulation is actually taking time away from your family or your friends or both. And you feel like if I could just get more time to work on or promote this guiding value, then I would feel so much more fulfilled and so much happier, and my life would just feel like it was just, there was like a quality to it that wasn't there before. So knowing your top 3 guiding values is going to be so crucial. I really encourage you to think this over and write them down, because you're going to want to come back to them and like carve them on your heart. Now that we've talked about that, I recommend going through your house with a trash bag. You can either have the goal of going through actual physical garbage, or you can just find a bag full of stuff to donate. This is awesome because you can do this right now. You can literally pause this, go grab a trash bag or a bin, and just go through your house. This can take anywhere from 5 minutes to 20 minutes, however long you want to take. But I recommend not really mulling over things for too long, especially the garbage. A really great place to start is in like drawers, cupboards, because these are things that you're probably not really using on a regular basis. So start somewhere that it's not going to hurt you to get rid of something, and see how fast you can actually fill up a bin or a bag. In fact, if you end up doing this, let me know how quickly you're able to do it in the comments below. And if you went ahead and took your time, no problem, but I'd be super excited for you and I want to cheer you on in the comments, so let me know. Another thing you can do is just kind of decide the number of items that you want to keep. So here in my closet, I have decided about how many shirts I want to keep, just in general. And anything that I haven't worn obviously is an easy one, it can go, but I want to keep my closet really pared down. I don't want to have too many options. I especially don't want to have things that don't fit, that don't flatter me. So I'm just using the closet as an example, but you can kind of think, this is what I know I want. I know I want 7 shirts to get me through the week, but your your idea can be completely different. I also did this when I decluttered the junk drawer downstairs, is I knew that I wanted these certain items. Everything else I let go. So if you're really excited to pare down items in your house, but you're a little bit overwhelmed and you just don't really know what to keep, what to get rid of, and it's just completely bogging you down, those decisions, just make a list or a mental note of what you know you want to keep, and then everything else can go. Something else you can do really easily is just get rid of duplicates. So like in my kitchen, I had, I think, 3 spatulas, which is way too many, obviously. I also had way too many pairs of scissors. It didn't make any sense for me to keep them. And then like stuff like under your sink, like nail polish, if you've got 4 purple shades, you might want to just go through and keep your favorite. And that's the other idea, is to just keep your absolute favorite. You probably have a favorite spatula like I do, or a favorite pair of scissors, or a favorite nail polish color, whatever it is. Just get rid of the duplicates and only keep your absolute favorite. Another thing you can do right this second that's gonna help you get started with minimalism is to go through your pantry. Don't overhaul it completely, just go through and see what food is expired. Move things to the front that you know you wanna eat up really quickly. You could also go through your fridge as another project, but going through your food, I think that's not one that we would typically think of, but that's definitely an area to declutter that you're gonna be really, really happy you did. It's gonna be less wasteful in the long run as you clear that space out, make room for the food that needs to be eaten, and kind of like remind yourself of all those foods that are going bad. So anyway, go ahead and just spend a few minutes in your pantry going through and getting out anything that's expired. Paper clutter. This one is super tricky. In fact, let me know if you want to do a whole video with me on this topic alone, how to create systems, how to know what to keep, because there are general rules for stuff like this. But if you have a system for your papers, a filing system, this can be super, super helpful. So we have 2. We have this little wooden caddy that we keep bills that need to be paid right away in. And this just actually belongs in our pantry on one of the top shelves. And my husband and I both know this is where the bills go. But then we also have this really big, ugly, kind of industrial looking filing bin or a filing caddy. It's not pretty, but it does the job. We need to be able to put manila envelopes or manila folders in here to just kind of keep everything organized, things with taxes, things for medical bills, things like that. So having maybe a system or 2 in place to help you take care of paper clutter, know where it's gonna be filed, is really, really gonna help. Try doing the 1 week rule. I think this is really great for when you're trying to maybe make a purchase of something that you either want. Obviously, if it's something you really need, like a toilet plunger, go out and get it. That's not what I'm talking about. But items that aren't absolute essentials or emergencies, having about a week to sit on it can be amazing, because if this happens to you like it did with me, you'll forget about it. You'll completely forget about this item that you wanted really badly. It's amazing how quickly we move on to completely forget about the thing that we had on our brain. So give yourself a week to mull something over, leave it in your Amazon cart, jot it down on a piece of paper. But even maybe better than that, and an extra challenge on top of it, is not to write it down anywhere. Just keep it in your brain and see how long your mind holds on to it. And if you've forgotten in a week, you really, in the end, didn't want or need that item, and you just saved yourself some money. You could also try practicing the 1 in, 1 out rule. This is one of my absolute favorites, and one that I've really dedicated myself to following. So basically what it is before you bring the new item into your home, you get rid of something else. It does not have to be the same type of thing, although I do think that's kind of nice. Like one of your shirts gets kind of worn out, so you replace it. One idea is this recipe book. This is actually more of an example, but I have been wanting this Joanna Gaines recipe book since it came out in 2018. So that's a long time, but I just never really felt like I could justify it because I had other cookbooks and other recipes. Well, I just got rid of one of my cookbooks that's been in my cupboard since my marriage 12 years ago. And it was a fat, thick cookbook that took up so much room and space. So after I got rid of that, I finally decided that I could go ahead and buy this cookbook for myself. And because it was such a long time coming, definitely an item I thought about, and I knew I wasn't overstuffing my cupboards, I can really enjoy it knowing that I'm not overdoing it, that I got rid of that other cookbook. So it's completely appropriate for me to get another one to replace that with recipes that I'm actually going to make and use. So there is an example of something fun and exciting that you can do. It's just like, think about what you want, but I have to get rid of something else first. That leads me perfectly into my next tip, and that is to simplify your meals. And I don't think a lot of us really think about this, but oh my gosh, this is so great. So if you can simplify your meal planning, then you're freeing up time. And don't you feel like that's what minimalism really is all about? And we talked about that at the beginning too, just freeing up this time, energy, all of it, the space in your life to make room for the things that you value the absolute most. So if you can kind of come up with a system for your meal planning, your recipes for the week or the month, I think it's really gonna make a big difference and save you time and save you from wasting food if you have this really nice planned out meal plan. So what I recommend doing, this is super easy and it doesn't take up much time at all, is just sit down with a month calendar and go ahead and just start plugging in recipes for every single day of the week. It's a lot of recipes. What's nice about this is you can repeat things that your family really likes and just kind of plug them in sporadically throughout the month. And then once you've gotten all of your recipes written down, you're just going to keep referring back to this each week. At the beginning of each week, whenever you do your grocery shopping, you know these are the meals we're gonna have, write out the recipe cards, and then do it again for each week of the month. So hopefully having a system like this will ultimately help you save time, and that's like stress lifted off your shoulders too. What's for dinner? All right, last tip. Are you ready? I suggest really thinking quality over quantity. You are talking to somebody who would hoard a bunch of little knickknacks. So many things from the Target dollar spot I cannot even count. I would just pick things up here and there. My money would be blown before I knew it, and I'd have all these little cheap items. So I really recommend focusing on quality over quantity. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean you have to spend a lot of money. I found perfectly great quality items for not a lot of money at all. Definitely that is possible, but instead of focusing on how many things or how much can I get for this amount of money, try and think, what quality piece can I maybe save up for or bring into my home that's gonna add tons of value? If you think about it, buying quality over quantity is really gonna save you in the long run a bunch of energy and time, because you have to maintain these items that you bring in. So if you're not having to spend all this money repairing it, all this time cleaning it, all this energy storing it, whatever, and it's something that you're actually gonna value and use and love because it's good quality and hopefully something you were able to really think about, I think that's gonna be really, really awesome. All right, let me know in a comment, what are you going to try and implement today or this week? Something that's gonna just test out minimalism or see if it's right for you. And I really think you're gonna see some amazing benefits coming from just 1, 2, or 3 of these things. If you can do all of them, hooray, but don't stress yourself out. This is all about staying calm, having more peace and simplicity in your life, so don't make this stressful. Thanks guys so much for watching. I'd love it if you hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.